According to research from the British Insurance Brokers Association, the number of live telematics policies increased by 116,000 between 2012 and 2013, while the number of telematics providers also increased from 10 in 2012 to 15 in 2013. These figures suggest that telematics is becoming an attractive proposition for insurers. And with this in mind today, in the second part of a three-part series on telematics, I'm delighted to say I'm joined in the studio by Jonathan Hewett from Octo Telematics to discuss the benefits telematics can bring to insurers in engaging the consumer channels. Welcome to the studio, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Firstly, can you tell me whether telematics can improve the value proposition to help insurers earn loyalty from their customers?
Yes, and I think it should be a foundational component of any of those strategies. I think if we think of the as is model, where the customer researches, they find a price, they find a provider, the deal is struck, and the policy is sent and then received by the consumer. But at that point, that policy then goes into a deep drawer or a filing cabinet, never to see the light of day unless there's a claim or perhaps when it's getting to renewal. I think what telematics then enables is the basis for an ongoing relationship with the consumer. And I think that basis for that relationship can drive benefits not just for car insurance but for wider products within an insurer's portfolio. So the ability to be able to commence a conversation with an end consumer about how they are consuming their policy is, I think, almost a once in a lifetime transformational opportunity. It's a bit like we all used to go to banks, and then we all used to go to the contact centre, and then we all moved online. And now increasingly people are moving into smartphone enabled banking. And why do they do that? Because it's simple, it's easy, it's convenient. They like the experience. So an insurer having that conversation with their consumer, which says, this is how you're driving, these are the trips that you're making, this is the acceleration graphs, these are the braking graphs, this is how you could improve, ultimately this is how you could save some money on your policy, I think is a very value creating dialogue for both the consumer and the insurer. And then of course there's a fair transfer of value, that I can give you something that is specific to you at renewal time, and then I can also start to suggest different offers and other services that I may have in my portfolio, which based on your individual data or profile appear more compelling than they may otherwise would. I mean, in many ways it's the genius of the Tesco club card. I collect some data on you, and then the offers I give you back just seem to be more relevant and of greater interest.
And how do you think insurers can capitalise on these new opportunities for greater contact through telematics?
Well, I think the first thing is to begin to do something. There's lots of good ideas that are looking for markets, and there's lots of good ideas that are on the project lists of insurers. But I think telematics, based on its compelling business case, is starting to rise to the top. So I think the first thing is to execute. The second thing is then to have a good plan for executing, supported by a robust business case. But I think recognising that telematics is more than just about pricing, but that it impacts across the enterprise of insurance. That there are big benefits in the claims management process for giving customers greater support, demonstrating a greater level of care and customer service, and having some opportunities through different events happening to check on the customer's well-being and to inform them about how their policy is running and potential benefits that they can begin to get.
What would you say the role of the smartphone is in engaging the customer?
Well, I think in the world of the app that we now live in, I think it's incredibly important, and there are a lot of consumer trends that insurers should be really focusing and studying hard on. And consumers are taking the view that the smartphone is their device of choice from which they want to control their world, whether it's music, whether it's media, whether it's news, whether it's controlling the heating in their homes. Their apps are everything now. We've recognised that, and we've really recognised that trend, and indeed we've established a digital marketing practice where the core capability is to understand the best of breed user interfaces and user experiences, because as humans we all repeat things that we like doing. So if you make that experience of viewing your trips, your driving behaviour simple and easy and repeatable, the relationship that you establish with your end consumer becomes something entirely different from the policy in the drawer, and that's why we think it's so important, and where telematics, outside of almost pricing and claims and FNOL, has such huge benefits for insurers to completely change the landscape in terms of customer relationships.
Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for, but thank you, Jonathan, for shedding some light on those issues. Remember, to learn more about telematics, look out for part 3 in this series, which will focus on big data and analytics. And don't forget to check out Post in print, online and on the iPad, and the Post Intelligence app for more on telematics. That's all from me for now. Goodbye.